The Cherry Creek Sports Network, in association with the Colorado High School Activity Association, is proud to bring you Cchs football on CCSN. It's homecoming night in Greenwood Village as number 2 Cherry Creek hosts number 4 Grandview. And we welcome you inside the broadcast booth to say, hey friends, alongside Matthew Anderson. I'm Benjamin Paris, and Matthew, it's been a while since these Cherry Creek Bruins have been at home, but since that Week 3 trip to Chandler, Arizona, things have been looking awfully good for this Bruins squad.
I mean, Ben, the record and the margins speak for themselves. They've had a couple of 3 great games after that sad loss to Chandler in Arizona, one of the best teams in the nation. Really lit a fire for them. They're working hard to overcome that loss of their 25-game win streak. And they've just put together, a couple of really amazing games against Regis Jesuit, Cherokee Trail, to name a few.
Meanwhile, Grandview, under their new head coach Tom Doherty, have also played themselves to a 5-1 record thus far, and they've worked themselves all the way up to number 4 in the Cchs coaches poll.
Yeah, Ben, it's been great. It's been great to see just how effective they've been under the leadership of Cherry Creek's former defensive coordinator, Tom Doherty. This is a great team. This is probably going to be Cherry Creek's best matchup of the regular season, and I'm excited to see this for a homecoming game.
You just mentioned the new head coach, Tom Doherty. He was here at Cherry Creek, as you mentioned, as the defensive coordinator for 9 years, in which he won 3 state championships. I mean, he left a lasting impact here at Cherry Creek.
He left a lasting impact here at Cherry Creek, and he left a lasting impact on head coach Dave Logan as well. And it'll be interesting to see how Logan is going to play to that, knowing that he's worked with Doherty for the past 12 years, since they were at Mullen together back in 2010. And so this is a matchup of just 2 absolute high school football geniuses. It's going to be great to watch the kind of intellectual play we have tonight.
Now, the players at Cherry Creek are just as excited to see Coach Doherty as he is to be here. With more on that, we send it down to the 3rd member of our crew, Reagan Kenobi, on the sideline. Reagan.
It's been like night, and we sell out in the stands behind. Absolutely packed. Now, I was talking to Christian Hammond a couple days ago. He said that, and even more so because it's against Coach Tom Doherty. Now, tonight is somewhat of a homecoming for Coach Doherty as well, as this is the first time he's ever walked into the Cellar Bowl in Grandview gear. And I heard from multiple players of our defense that really makes Coach Doherty is a great defensive coordinator for us, but that's even more reason to come out tonight. And both teams are great, and we got the number 4 and the number 2 against each other. One might come down to a dog fight. Who wants it more? Back to you, Ben.
And Reagan, if people weren't already excited that it's Coach Doherty's return, you got a number 2 versus a number 4 matchup. You add homecoming night to that as well. How's everyone feeling down there in the student section?
Well, Ben, I think our audio to Reagan cut out. That's unfortunate. We've been dealing with some of these technical difficulties. Reagan's mic cutting out, and then, of course, when people walk in front of the mic's connection, it blocks it. So, anyways, much more to hear from Reagan, the rest of the year, and, of course, the rest of this game. She's been doing some great research. And, us 2 being seniors, that's the future of commentary for Cherry Creek Sports Network, and boys, in good hands, Ben.
Absolutely, super good hands. And you've heard Reagan if you watched the Arvada West broadcast, and it was spectacular. And she knows the players on and off the field and all of that very, very well. So much more to hear from Reagan tonight. Cherry Creek to receive this opening kickoff, and then we will be underway here on homecoming night from the Stutler Bowl. As Cherry Creek in blue tops, blue bottoms tonight. Grandview all whites. A blue out for this Cherry Creek squad. And Matthew, first homecoming in 2 years, as we've talked about it, fans back, and now as we've gone later into the regular season, homecoming's back. And everyone is awfully excited to be there, as here's the kick into the end zone, will be a touchback, and the game is underway.
Ben, you're exactly right. It's it's something that so many kids in our senior class have talked about, right? We missed so much of the spirit, so much of the festivities these past 2 years. Kids are hungry for it. We've seen record attendance at pep assemblies. You know, today's pep assembly was absolutely great. Of course, you were in it. And you'll be in the halftime show later today, something to stay tuned for, viewers. And, you know, this student section, you can see it there. Biggest student section I think we've ever had. We were expecting a sellout. It happened much faster than we expected.
On 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, we have Julian Hammond under shotgun. As Hammond's going to pitch it to his left side. He's got Bubba Tan as he'll get just across the 20 up to perhaps the 22-yard line.
And that's Bubba Tan with the carry, Ben. We had some very unfortunate news this week. Keegan Hollis, Cherry Creek's starting running back, and really more of a flex position than anything. He was so versatile in the flat. He tore his ACL at the last game, and he won't be playing this game. I don't know his prognosis, and I don't want to speak to it, but he certainly won't be in this game and possibly not in future ones.
As Hammond going to find himself in the shotgun here on 2nd and 8. Going to hand it off again to Tan as Tan gets across the 30 and will spin up to the 35-yard line to give the Bruins a new set of down. And Carlson Tan, as I guess you could call him running back number 2, but he and Keegan have both had really successful seasons out of the backfield.
They have been, and they have this great vision, right? Coach Logan knows how to enforce this decision-making in his offensive squad. He knows how to teach it, and he knows how to make them develop it in games. We see it in Christian Hammond, and we especially see it in both Keegan Hollis and Bubba Tan. They have these slow heartbeats. They can really wait for the play to develop. They're patient, and then they find the hole.
1st and 10 from the 36. Tan's going to get his 3rd handoff in a row, and we're going to have our first penalty of the game coming up as we'll get the call from the officials.
Well, Ben, if running can be your bread and butter, as it has been so far, that opens up a passing game, right? They'll have to bring the box down, and Cherry Creek's got a couple of fast targets that can get open deep. We saw that 2 weeks ago at Regis.
And Matthew, I remember we talked about it last season where Cherry Creek, and they still don't this season, doesn't particularly stand out as a pass team or a run team because they are so run-pass balanced on the offensive side of the ball.
And that's the best way to be, Ben. Keep your defenders on their toes. Make them predict what's going to happen, and that's been one key to Cherry Creek's success over these past few years.
1st and 21, this time being played from the 25-yard line as Hammond looks to deliver a strike. He looks for Kai O'Day. Looks like it bounced right through him and off his chest. It's going to fall incomplete. We'll bring up now 2nd and long for the Bruins.
And that's too bad there, Ben, but you see that agility. Kai O'Day, one of the fastest men in Colorado. We've got to look it up. He's like 2nd or 3rd.
2nd in the 100-meter at state last year.
2nd in the 100-meter at state. So that's pretty impressive. He doesn't just have speed, he's got agility too. He's a menace on those cutbacks. You never know when they're coming, and then when they do come, they break your ankles. And there he's able to generate so much space between him and his defender.
And talk about the highlight reel play those two made, Hammond and O'Day, that is at Regis Jesuit, as Ismail Cchs gets this one, and he'll get into Grandview territory. We'll finish that thought on O'Day in a second, as Ismail Cchs will get to the 31-yard line.
He just kept going, Ben. I think he had 3 guys on him, and he was fighting.
So Bruins will move into Grandview territory. What we're saying, talking about the 81-yard touchdown strike from Christian Hammond to Kai O'Day in that Grandview game, and that was a play to watch and a play that really we had been waiting for all season, is to finally get those two to connect on one of those long balls.
They're lethal. They're lethal, Ben. When there's really no better word for it.
As 1st and 10 now on the 32-yard line of the Wolves, as Hammond looking for the end zone to Pollard, and that one going to be short and fall incomplete at the goal line. But the Bruins have found their passing options so far in this game, not even 3 minutes in.
Well, Ben, it's easy to find that passing option when you've got 3 options. You've got Kai O'Day, you've got Ismail Cchs, and you've got Cooper Pollard. You've got some others too, of course, Kyer Johnston, really in the wide receiver tight end position. All some really effective wide receivers. And not to exclude Dawson Johnson, Ty Pell. I mean, there is really like 6 right there for you. Highly effective, and your 3 are, some of them are going off to top colleges.
As CC to a screen will get down towards the 20-yard line, and that's where he's taken down, as that will bring up another new set of downs for the Bruins as they move into the Grandview red zone on their first possession. 4 pass plays in a row for Cherry Creek.
3 run, 4 pass. Cherry Creek likes finding a rhythm. And it's going to be up to Grandview now to try to predict that rhythm and stop it.
Our score bug will be coming at you momentarily, but Bruins still on their first offensive drive of the game, as 9 minutes even on the clock here in this first quarter, as Christian Hammond finds himself in the shotgun with Tan to his right side. Tan's going to get this handoff as he gets across the 15 down to the 13-yard line. Will give the Bruins a second and short. But Matthew, we just mentioned it, the run-pass balance has been spectacular so far.
Well, it's great to be able to switch on every single play, right? I mean, if you've got, sometimes the defense can kind of predict where you're going based off of the personnel you have in. Fortunately, Cherry Creek's personnel are so strong on both sides that it's very difficult to predict. And you don't have to sub in or sub out personnel to switch what kind of play you're trying to run.
2nd and 3 from the 13-yard line is what the Bruins offense has. As Hammond going to be another handoff to Tan, going to move to his right side inside the 10-yard line, and will set up 1st and goal for Cherry Creek.
Last time we were on this broadcast, Ben, Cherry Creek not that hot off the first drive. This represents kind of a turnaround for them. You know, as we said, they've really, really been working up throughout the season. They've been working super hard and working up. And it's been great to see that improvement thus far this season, and it's great to establish a challenge here tonight against Grandview.
1st and goal on the 8-yard line. It's going to be Bubba Tan, and he's going to get about a 6-yard gain. That will get him to the 2-yard line. And the Bruins will now have 2nd and goal as they await the 11th play of the drive. As the clock rolls on, we approach the 7-minute mark in the first quarter. 2nd and goal from the 3. It's going to be another handoff to Tan. And this time he's going to be taken down for a loss, as Grandview even tried to strip that one. And the officials will just put the ball at the line of scrimmage, which was the 3. So we'll now have 3rd and 3 for Cherry Creek. So 3rd and 3, what do you think the playbook allows, Matthew?
Playbook allows anything. I mean, I love a fade here in the corner. Julian Hammond last year, lethal with that. No reason Christian can't be either. They haven't run that as much. Obviously a running play here.
As Hollis is going to get down to the 1, and we have flags coming in. Grandview says that the ball came loose. Officials rule Tan down, and now we're going to get the call.
Outside, inside, it doesn't matter. But they have gone a bit more conventional this year on some of these shorter downs.
A face mask on the defense.
Doherty doesn't like that one.
Is going to make it a still 3rd down, this time from the 1. I believe that one gets taken as half the distance to the goal. You can't really take a 15-yard penalty inside the 15-yard line, as Cherry Creek gets ready for their 13th now play of the drive, and they're almost halfway through it. 6 minutes even left on the clock. As Hammond takes this one himself, and he is in for the score. Touchdown Bruins, and Christian Hammond has his 4th rushing touchdown of the season.
Of course, Ben, we've talked run, pass, but we forgot the quarterback running the ball. Christian Hammond, you said it, 4 running touchdowns this season. A quarterback who can run, I mean, what more can you ask for?
And Matthew, he has made some spectacular plays to escape pressure, get out of the pocket, and really make some dead plays into something special all season long.
I mean, that's really what these Hammond brothers are known for, right? We were at the senior awards night last year. Julian Hammond's there. Coach Logan's presenting. He's one of 4 athletes at Cherry Creek High School to get the Outstanding Athlete Award. Coach Logan says Julian Hammond has the slowest heartbeat he's ever seen in a player. And that's because he can make these decisions that are just unparalleled in their intelligence, in situations which are equally unparalleled in their scariness, is one way to put it. You know, he's matched up against a giant lineman chasing him down, and here he is standing still, waiting patiently for his receiver. These Hammond brothers, they have guts.
Matthew will mark it down as a 6-minute even drive, 13 plays, 80 yards, resulting in a Cherry Creek touchdown. And Bowdoin, the leg page, will get ready to kick off as Grandview gets ready for their first offensive possession of the game. As this one will go into the end zone and will be a touchback.
Always a good day when Bowdoin, the leg page, is kicking, Ben.
Now, Matthew, any Grandview players particularly stand out to you as the offense hits the field for the first time tonight?
Ben, I'm excited about quarterback Liam Cesarka. This offensive regimen really trusts him. He's got 103 pass attempts on the year, 53% completion percentage for 677 yards. Don't tell my math teacher I can't pronounce numbers. And he's been a really strong weapon for this team this year. Part of that has been his amazing receiving core. He's got 3 really strong receivers.
Cesarka looked over the middle on his first play as it falls incomplete, but there you have it. Great receiving core, and they pass on their first drive of the game.
Here are a couple names for you. Charlie Dick, Tristan Burris, Evan Johnson. A couple of really strong athletes. Do I remember Burris properly from basketball?
Absolutely.
Yeah. An absolute menace on the basketball court, of course.
2nd and 10 for Grandview as they're going to look to pass again. And this one completed to the left for about a 6-yard gain to the tight end, number 81, Simon Kibbe.
And Ben, for all of their amazing passing, they are really strong in the rushing game as well. They've got 20 touchdowns this year, 27.7 points per game, 13 of those touchdowns from running, 7 from passing. So much like Cherry Creek, they are a very run-pass balanced team.
3rd and 4, first third down of the game coming up for the Wolves on their own 26 as they're going to look to pass again. Pocket was collapsing. They're going to have to bring it forward, and a dive from Cesarka is going to get him across the 30 and get him a new set of downs as the pocket was collapsing.
Those are the kinds of plays that make you a legend in the halls of Grandview High School. Those small plays where you end up making, a big move to get what you're hoping. And in that case, he grabs the first down with a nice dive. He's got a slow heartbeat as well, Ben. Maybe not quite as slow as Julian Hammond's, but he's a very talented player, able to make these quick decisions, and we saw that great decision-making there.
So they convert on 3rd down, give themselves a new set of downs on their own 31-yard line. As they're going to stay on the ground here for no really gain on the play. We'll bring up 2nd and long as number 27, that is Brody Robinson with the carry.
And no yards, Ben. Cherry Creek was all over that. Right at the snap, they had 3 guys back of the box. 8 guys in the box, really. And you can't rush on 8 guys in the box. Cherry Creek has been pretty strong at recognizing some of these keystone plays for teams, and an example of that there.
As they keep it on the ground again across the 45. And that is Musa Al-Safar, the senior running back.
I recognize that name, Ben, and the reason we recognize it is we talked a lot about him last year. Because he's such a talented player, of course, accounting for most of the touchdowns, or most of their 13 rushing touchdowns this season. He's definitely one of those names that Cherry Creek is like, oh, we're going against Grandview this week. Oh, we're going against Musa Al-Safar. And one of those guys they're always excited to compete against.
As another pass coming from Grandview, screen completed across the 50 into Bruins territory. And as Charlie Dick, one of those guys we were talking about earlier, with his first reception of the evening. And the Wolves get into Bruin territory.
Highly unlikely to be his last. Saw that nice run after carry, or run after catch.
I got you.
It's been a long week for us, Ben.
It is. It's a fun one, Matthew. But man, is it It's a pretty tiring one as well.
Of course, great climax here in the Stutler Bowl, broadcasting with our team. And of course, you're going to get us our rosters. Been operating off of our memory and a couple of next preps. So we'll get some more rosters in here. We'll be better with the names.
But inside 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter, Grandview has a 3rd and 1 as Liam Cesarca will set up under center. And the ball came loose. Bruins have it. Yes, they do. The recovery to number 8. Have to remember from memory, that might be Pez.
Well, Ben, I'm not great at remembering from memory as you say it, but
Now it's Angelo Ratter.
Angelo Petrides. Yeah. Right. There are about 99 men on this roster. Looked like Grandview was trying to catch Creek a little bit off guard there. Angelo, can't catch Angelo off guard.
So the Bruins take over with 2:39 left to go in the opening quarter on their own 43-yard line, as Hammond will get a short screen complete just across the 45, about to the 46 for a 3-yard gain. And that'll set up 2nd and 6 now for Cherry Creek after the short pass.
Well, but it's great to have possession twice in the first quarter. And that's how you start putting double digits on the board and asserting strong leads. Key here for Cherry Creek is going to be to capitalize. That'll be worth its weight in gold.
As play action, and that pass almost intercepted into some dangerous coverage as Hammond was looking for Kai O'Day on the screen.
Well, that's a great contest by number 1 there. I mean, we'll try to. I'll get his name here on a roster, maybe. But really strong contest, very physical play. And Kai O'Day, we mentioned earlier, he's so great at creating that space between him and his defender. Number 1, you see him there on the bottom of your screen. Doesn't let it happen.
So it's going to bring up Cherry Creek's first 3rd down conversion of the evening, aside from their 3rd and goal on their first drive. 3rd and 6 on their own 47-yard line. And we have a timeout. This one coming from what looks to be Coach Doherty of Grandview. Check that. Dave Logan with his first timeout in the opening quarter with 1:52 left in the opening quarter.
And to give credit where credit is due, that would have been Caden Royo on that very strong contest against Kai O'Day. Senior out of Grandview, cornerback, just about the same size as Johnny's going to give us a graphic here, Ben. Johnny's a master of the graphics. You see here Cherry Creek's schedule, just 1 L so far this season against Chandler away. We talked about in that game in the pregame show. A little bit disappointed with their performance against Chandler. They really thought they could have won if they performed better. But you know what? It lit a fire for them, and they're focused on just improving for the rest of the season. Beating Grandview here tonight, heading off to the playoffs. They have their hands full. Grandview, Arapahoe, Eagle Crest, Smoky Hill, a couple of 4 really strong teams.
You know, Matthew, taking a top 15 team in the country to just a 10-point deficit in a game where you lost the turnover ratio really 4-0, I mean, that's, all things considered, a good result in that loss in Arizona.
Yeah, the key is fixing that turnover ratio.
As Tan with another carry on 3rd and 6 gets the Bruins across the 50-yard line down to the Grandview 40. About 7 will bring up 4th and 1, and Bruins offense staying on the field.
Well, Ben, you know what the analytics say. They say to go for it here. And Coach Logan, he trusts the data.
And now it appears that Coach Doherty will take his first timeout of the game, just a play after Coach Logan took his initial touchdown, or timeout rather. And it comes with 1:20 left in this opening quarter. Matthew, as I take a look to our right, I mean, the parking lot is still packed of people trying to get into the Stutler Bowl.
Well, Ben, it's a sellout. And it's a sellout on the Creek side and a sellout on the Grandview side. This is the most impressive student section we've seen for an away team. That is for sure. They're here in their ski hats and ski goggles, prepared to go skiing. It's about 70 degrees out, but
it is 70 degrees out. You have the blue out versus the ski out tonight here at the Stutler Bowl. And what is expected to as it goes on, and what has been so far a pretty exciting game. As you have the number 2 and number 4 ranked teams in Colorado. As quick snap, will the Bruins get across the 47, and they will. So as Carlson Tan with the carry will get the Bruins a new set of downs.
And we've seen that far more than we see it on average. Ben, we've seen these quick snaps tonight by both teams, just trying to find every little advantage they can, every little way, you know, they can just get that extra yard, because this really is going to be one of those close nail-biter games, and both these teams are really prepared for, you know, fighting down to the wire.
New set of downs on the 45-yard line as Hammond finds himself in the shotgun. High snap. He's going to roll out to his right side. Hammond's going to take himself lots of open space as he moves towards the near sideline. Hammond to the 20, inside of the 10, 5, touchdown, Bruins. And there's a flag down at midfield. But wow, Christian Hammond just took it all the way by himself from the 45-yard line. We'll see if this one will stand. And the foul will indeed come against the Bruins. So this one will come back, and they're going to replay first down. But wow, what a read by Hammond.
An impressive read, and who deserves some credit as well is, of course, Carlson Tan and Cooper Pollard. Down the field, blocking, making these awesome blocks. Not only making strong blocks, but making them where they counted. They were looking off Julian Hammond, making sure they knew where he was. You can count on your guys to block, but you can't always count on them to block as intelligently as Pollard and Tan just did. A shame for those two as well for Hammond that this play comes back. Of course, you know, the offside was immediate, and that flag was up early, so you wonder how things would have gone differently had that flag not been thrown. But
very interesting that the play wasn't blown dead earlier on an offensive foul like that. However, 1st and 15 from the 50 with 36 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. As Hammond in the shotgun, will hand off to Tan as he'll try to move up the middle, and we'll get a short gain on the play in what perhaps could be the final play of this first quarter, as the Bruins could perhaps won run one more. But it does not look like they are really hustling to the line of scrimmage with 15 seconds left to go on the game clock.
They're happy to make their substitutes, take a breath. This is a key second down, Ben. I mean, this is 2nd and 14. You don't always convert your 2nd and 14, so they'll go ahead and wait.
And that will bring us to the conclusion of quarter number 1 here on the Cherry Creek Sports Network, as Cherry Creek leads 7-0 so far in this one. Both teams have had the ball once. Grandview fumbled on their first drive. Cherry Creek found their way to the end zone and are on their second offensive drive of the game right now.
Well, Ben, you tell me, are we going to be able to send it down to Reagan?
We're going to try to send it down to Reagan if Reagan can hear us. Reagan, something we really like to see at Cherry Creek is when some of our former players excel at the next level. Chase Penry is a case of that, and we saw that last weekend. With more on that, we'll send it down to you.
Yeah, Chase played great last Saturday against USC at Post Field, and he's a 6'1", 185-pound wide receiver. This is his rookie year at CU. I know all the Creek community was super excited to see his 7-yard reception at the end of the third quarter, and although the Buffs did lose that game, that was definitely a high point, and love to see our Bruins go on to college and do really well. Ben, I know you were at that game.
I was at Reagan. Me and Jackie Pearsall, part of CCSN, made the trip up to Boulder, and a pretty exciting game if you're a Bruins fan. You like to see Chase Penry get his first touchdown as a Buff, but man, as CU drops to 1-4 on the season, things are not going too well in Boulder this season. Thanks, Reagan, as we get ready for quarter number 2 to begin. And Bruins are going to begin this quarter on the ground as Logan Brantley. Interesting that we have a number 5. 2 number 5s on the rosters. Brantley usually on the defense. You have Markiel, who's on there as a quarterback. So we're going to check who that is. But Bruins begin on the ground, get a short gain. We'll bring up 3rd and 8.
These rosters are never quite right, Ben. We got 2 number 4s, 2 number 5s. Pretty sure that's, I don't know, that doesn't seem quite right. But in any case, we do our best.
As long as number 94 is on there, I'm all good. As Hammond gets sacked for the first time tonight on 3rd and long, as Cherry Creek's going to bring out the punt team, and Grandview gets a stop on Cherry Creek's second possession.
And there's that killer Grandview defense we've seen so much of this season, Ben. Of course, who better to lead the Grandview defense than former Cherry Creek defensive coordinator Tom Doherty? That's why you get hired for this job, Ben, to lead one of the best defenses in the state. That would be the Grandview Wolves defense.
And not a job he was expecting to have the opportunity to take as the ball is loose. Grandview on top of it, but in our talks with Coach Doherty earlier this week, it wasn't a job at Grandview that he was expecting to have, but once he had the opportunity, it's one that he couldn't pass up.
He really did emphasize that, Ben, that there were a lot of open positions, and there had been a lot of open head coach positions he felt like he was capable of getting for the past several years. And finally, when this Grandview position came up, he was all over it because he knows Grandview is a great team every single year. They have great players who work really hard, and he wanted to add that onto his career.
Something else that we talked about with Coach Doherty is we talked about what's now 3 years ago now, the double overtime loss in Week 10 against Grandview, and what was really a heartbreaker before Cherry Creek ultimately went to the state championship that year and fell to Valor Christian in the final game of the season. But it's the last time Grandview beat this Bruins squad in what was a pretty epic game.
That was an epic game, Ben. I was there, unfortunately, for both overtimes.
Me as well.
That one came out 28-21. That's a bad score, Ben. There's just bad luck in that score. Interesting factoid for you. Cherry Creek all-time a losing record to Grandview.
As they find a deep route, complete down to the 20, and all the way into the end zone. Touchdown Wolves, and it is Evan Johnson.
Wow.
As Johnson got straight past his defenders, and the Wolves have a touchdown on their second play of the drive.
Ben, that is just a raw foot race. And Evan Johnson, I wouldn't have characterized him as a particularly speedy guy, but he has got speed. He has got fire in those legs. And wow, he had a lot of separation from his defender early on, and after the catch just extended it.
So the Wolves will tie that one up. The longest play that Cherry Creek has given up this season, and the extra point is up and good. 7-7 your score here from the Stutler Bowl after both teams have had 2 drives. And we have a tie ball game as Cherry Creek gets ready to get the ball back.
I'm trying to get Evan Johnson's 100-meter time here, Ben.
And you know, so many athletes on this Grandview team was a part of their boys track and field state championship at the end of last season.
That's right. They were state champions as a team. And I mean, that speaks to the athletic success of Grandview as a school as a whole, right? Looks like he ran a 10.9. Do I have this right? Yeah, you ran a 10.9 in the 100-meter. Okay, I'm gonna get back to you on how good that is. That's really good. I'm gonna get back to you on like how really good that is.
I assumed that was quite good, as another speedy guy, Kai O'Day, will bring in that kickoff. Will move to his left side, and O'Day's going to get up to the 30, and there's a burst of speed as he crosses the 40, and O'Day's taken out at the Wolves' 40-yard line. A 60-yard return for Kai O'Day.
Just a hair off Kai O'Day, Ben. Kai runs a 10.7. Johnson runs a 10.9. Man, that's fast.
We're going to call it a 62-yard return as O'Day took that one in right out about the goal line, as Cherry Creek will get ready for their first drive of this quarter on the Wolves' 39-yard line. 9:49 left to go in the opening half. As Hammond in the shotgun gets the play call from Coach Logan out there with 4 receivers and Tan to his right. As he moves to his right, he's got someone coming behind him, and he's going to be taken down for a sack.
And Ben, there was definitely a mix-up in who was blocking who. Cherry Creek doesn't typically have those kinds of miscommunications, but you have so many plays in a game. Of course, some of them, of course, bound to happen. Ben, I've just been tagged in a Facebook post.
How about that, Matthew? Mid-game.
Mid-game.
Reminds us, you can always tweet us at Cherry Creek SN. If you want to join the conversation, Facebook tags, that is a way for us to look at it, but we would much prefer if you tweet us at Cherry Creek SN. We'll read those comments as the game goes on. Screen pass to Cc, as Cc gets across the 40, down the 45, and pretty close to the 30-yard line. He'll be marked down at the 32, and that's where the Bruins will set up on 3rd down. 3rd down and 2 is what the Bruins have in front of them. And we've already seen a position that might as well be 4-down territory so far for the Bruins tonight.
Well, and occasionally on that 4th down, they'll send out Bowden, the leg, Page. He's been money on these field goals this year.
As the ball's on the ground and right into the hands of a Grandview defender, as O'Day's going to try to make the tackle, and he will at the 25. But a Cherry Creek miscue as they fumble for their 9th time of the season, their 7th fumble lost.
Well, but it's not uncommon after a fumble to see players in the hallways with footballs. And the student body is encouraged to strip the ball from the player. I've seen it once or twice. I'm not sure if that's a recent form of punishment, but at least my freshman year that happened to a handful of players. And these fumbles, we've had more than one fumble a game on average, Ben. That is not a great number to have. And it's a bit uncharacteristic for Cherry Creek, but you know, it was part of the reason they lost to Chandler, or it was actually really most people would say the reason they lost to Chandler. You can't afford to be making those kinds of fumbles really on either side of the ball, for Cherry Creek or Grandview. You got to work on that ball security.
Jordan Haran with the fumble for the Bruins. Not someone we've seen carry the ball a lot this season, but when your top running back goes out, Matthew, those guys are going to ultimately have to step up in those positions, and more guys are going to be getting more carries because as much as he probably wants to, Bubba Tan can't play an entire game in the backfield.
You're right, Ben. As much as he probably wants to. Bubba Tan, a guy with some real passion. And as you said, he really can't play the full game. And again, as you said, Cherry Creek's running core really does have to step up now in the absence of Keegan Hollis. And I think that was really the first message we heard after Keegan Hollis tore his ACL. Uh-oh. Or not uh-oh, but all right, it's time for Bubba Tan and the rest of this squad to step up.
Cesarka kept that one by himself across the 30-yard line and up to about the 32-yard line. It's going to set up a Grandview third down now. And Matthew was with Keegan this week on the Spirit Bus on Tuesday as we went all the way around to the all the Cherry Creek feeder schools. And man, that guy still had a smile on his face, and you hate to see something like that happen, but he is handling it incredibly well. 3rd and 3 coming up for the Wolves. Cesarka play action. Quick screen is going to be complete to about the 40-yard line, and that is to number 3.
Charlie Dick.
Once again.
Remembered that one. And Ben, one of the matchups I've been so excited to see for this game is on the line for this particular set of teams, the Grandview offense, Cherry Creek defense. Grandview offense was so strong on the offensive line last year, and all of their players were juniors or sophomores. They've now grown up a year, they've got more experience, and they're still doing really well. I'm excited to see the challenge there for Cherry Creek tonight.
As the Wolves stay on the ground here, as Musa Al-Safar with the carry again for a short gain. We'll bring up 2nd and 7, just about halfway through quarter number 2.
And Ben, the school Wi-Fi is down, so my roster is no longer working.
That's it's not good.
I think I remember most of the names at this point, all 200 of them.
Oh, Matthew, the school Wi-Fi is down. The broadcast might be down. As Cesarka takes a deep shot, and it's going to fall incomplete.
A question I had not considered. Or it's maybe not down, but very slow. So, Ben, our director, Jonathan Varghese, has calmed our worries.
Oh, I have it back.
Broadcast at least stayed on. I don't know if Johnny's here on the Ethernet or what, but all these very complicated internet things I don't understand. But
Thanks, Johnny. You're the best.
yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to, right?
Cesarka looking to pass on 3rd and 7. Going to take it himself and get across the line to gain to give the Wolves a 3rd down, as it's going to be about an 8-yard carry for Liam Cesarka. as Grandview moves into Cherry Creek territory. Still with the ball on the 48-yard line.
And Ben, what can we expect at halftime? I understand you'll be a part of it.
Matthew, in this order, I think we have the cheer and palms performing together. They have a special routine that they've worked on all week where they'll do it at the same time. Then you have the marching band, concluded by the homecoming courts or homecoming royalty nominees, the freshmen, sophomores, juniors, all together, and then the seniors, whom I am one of, escorted by their parents. So gonna be pretty cool. My mom has never been to a Cherry Creek football game. I'm the fourth kid in my family. My mom's been having kids, both my parents have been having kids at Cherry Creek for the last 12 years, and her and my sister are out there somewhere on that Stutler Bowl, somewhere in the Stutler Bowl tonight for my mom's first Cherry Creek football game.
There's no better place to be on a Friday night, Ben.
The Stutler Bowl on Friday nights, Matthew.
Especially with this weather. Man, it's a great game.
2nd and 8 as Grandview get to stay on the ground, and looks like they'll get a short gain on the play as another run, this time to Al-Safar once again.
And Ben, I don't want you to forget about, of course, the Cherry Creek men's pom team.
Oh, what a performance at the pep assembly this morning.
The men's Palms team is a collection of seniors from the football team who will be dancing at halftime. Their performance is, I would say it's entertaining.
It is entertaining.
It's not quite as refined as the women's Palms team, but it's something to watch out for.
It is quite simply a spectacle as the ball's batted down by Blake Purchase at the line of scrimmage.
Blake Purchase, what a menace, man.
I love that guy.
Yeah, I mean he is a force. He is 2nd in the state in sacks right now. He's got 11 sacks. I mean, I think of him like Killmonger from Wakanda, just with like, you know, Killmonger's got the marks, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Blake Purchase has got the marks too.
4th and 5, Grandview rushes the offense out of there, gets the punt team out as Cherry Creek gets their punt team out as well. Coach Logan's not having it. He's going to call timeout, and wisely so. When you have 2 timeouts with about 3 minutes left in a tie game, you might as well use it than get caught off guard, and that's going to bring us to another timeout. Johnny, I believe somewhere, if possible, we have a video with some words from Coach Doherty coming into tonight's game, and we hear from Coach Doherty right now on CCSN.
It's so hard.
All right, we'll bring up
now, it's
4th
just
and
trying to
5,
get
and there
my
you go.
team
There
ready
goes Coach Doherty.
to play. So I haven't really, the emotional piece hasn't really set in yet, because it's just like in the football world, you got to get this done on Saturday, this done on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we're really just staying the course of our normal preparation. But I do think pulling in there, wearing Grandview stuff on Friday at 6 o'clock or 5:30 is going to be, I don't know what I'm going to feel at the time, but I know it'll be emotional.
And as
for
we
sure.
welcome you back, Remington Larson returns that one to about the 25-yard line. Matthew, you heard it there. Coach Doherty knew there was going to be some emotions, didn't really exactly know what it would be. We saw him talking with good friend Coach Logan before the game, but the fact of the matter is he's out here to win a football game as much as he's here to really come back home on homecoming.
And Ben, it's easy for you and I to make it very complicated, to make it something more than it is. For these guys, it's football. It's day in, day out. You got something to do on Saturday. You got something to do on Sunday. You got something to do on Monday. And at the end of the day, there's emotions that are a part of it, but most of it is business. And that's how these two men operate. That's how they've really been so effective as coaches these past few years.
And a highly documented return, as a lot of the local media out here tonight, as Carlson Tan going to get this one, an outside run to the 30, Tan to the 40. Tan had one guy to beat it. He was taken down, but Carlson Tan with a huge gain across the 45 out about to about the 47-yard line.
And those are the kinds of gains you need when you have 3 minutes left in the half.
The Bruins would love to get some more points on the board before the half ends, and Grandview is going to get the first possession of half number 2. They'd love to build a lead going into the locker room. As now 1st and 10 on the 48-yard line, as it's going to be a handoff to the Bruins, this time to the near side. And down to about the 46-yard line is number 3, Kyer Johnston. As Johnston with the 6-yard gain will give the Bruins 2nd and now 6 yards to go. And 2nd and 6 as CC motions to the top of the formation. Hammond out there in the shotgun. And he'll hand off to Tan as Tan's going to move to his left side. Tan with some more space through the 30, and Tan's going to go all the way. Touchdown, Bruins! Carlson Tan with his first touchdown of the game, and now his 6th of the season as the Bruins get back on top. 13-7 with the PAT coming.
That was the Bubba Tan drive, Ben. 2 huge plays from Bubba Tan. Kyer Johnson connecting them in the middle. Wow. Those are the kinds of things that make you let in the halls of Cherry Creek High School, right?
And that's something, too, that gives you the exhale as you head to halftime.
Well, now you're handing the ball back to Grandview with 2 minutes. This Cherry Creek defense, they got to hold on for 2 minutes. The Grandview is more than capable of scoring in that time.
As the extra point is up and good from Bowden the leg page, who's made all but 1 extra point so far this season, as the Bruins take a 14-7 lead, as perhaps we hit the 2-minute warning left in this first half.
And Ben, he is Bowden the leg page for a reason, right? It's been exciting to see his progression all 4 years. Moving up from, I believe, the junior varsity team his freshman year, now to the varsity team. He's gotten a lot more trust from the coaches as well. Last year, Cherry Creek just didn't kick many field goals for reasons relating to, one, their dominance, and
they just didn't need to.
Yeah, and to the fact that, you know, it was just better to go for it. Well, they've really trusted Bowden from pretty substantial distances, 30, 40 yards, and he's followed through. We know he's got the leg distance-wise, and his accuracy has improved all 4 years. It's really strong. Been great to see, you know, someone in our grade excel so well in their sport.
It's going to be exciting to see what happens next for Bowden. If football is the route he chooses, as it's really the next chapter of his life will come and go, you know, really the next handful of months. 2:01 left to go in the second quarter. Grandview is going to take over after the touchback on their own 20-yard line. And someone joined us. They tweeted us at Cherry Creek SN as, let's see what we got from producer Varghese. Evan Johnson runs a 4.340 at Cherry Creek SN. At Jordan Glipson, I believe it is. If you have a video, send it our way. 4.3, that is hard to believe. But I'm not saying it's not possible, though.
I believe it, Ben. What's Tyreek Hill's? Tyreek Hill, 40-yard dash. Let's ask Google.
As Grandview kept it on the ground for a 2-yard gain on 4th and 1. 4.29.
4.29, which was the hand time at his pro day. And as we know, hand times at pro days are not particularly reliable. I think, who was it? Was it Trevor Lawrence who came across and they were like, oh, 4.1 with the hand time? But
there's another guy having a tough year.
Yeah. But in any case, 4.3 is absolutely blazing. And that means you've got great acceleration too. And that's the acceleration that you need for, you know, establishing that distance between you and your defender. So, geez, I did not know that, Ben. That is staggering.
Matthew, we'll touch on this later. We have a lot of cross-country things that we'll get through as the game goes on, but separating yourself from your opponent is something that I have some experience with.
Ben, it might not be a good idea to go there.
It's not. But we have some special shout-outs that will come your way in the second half. A great week for the Cherry Creek cross-country program, and it's just all in another week here at Cherry Creek. 3rd and 8 coming up with 1:14 left to go in the second quarter for Grandview as Cherry Creek's going to bring the blitz. Blake Purchase trying to chase down a defender, receive the toss, and he's going to be taken down after a short gain. And let's see, is Coach Logan going to use his final timeout with a minute left on 4th and about 5, and it does not appear so, as 25 seconds separated game and play clock. And it looks like we have an official timeout on the field as a Bruins player was taken off the field. And another one substituted. 49 seconds to go as the clock should restart. And what should be a 24-second difference between play clock and game clock.
And Ben, I didn't know I was going to say this tonight, but I'm really rocking with this Grandview student section music choice.
You can't go wrong with Party in the USA, Matthew. It's a classic.
A little bit of, that takes me back to the early 2010s, Ben.
Kindergarten, 1st grade, maybe 2nd. I was on a trip over the summer in Montana with some golf friends, and this was the anthem of the trip for 4 days straight. See if any chance we can get our injury report, Mr. Varghese. Here we have it. So a lot of guys coming back for the Bruins this week, and we'll talk about the guy on the bottom as well. Keegan Holes out for the remainder of his season with the ACL.
Yeah, we touched on that a bit earlier. He is out. He's out for the remainder of the season, you said. I wasn't sure of his prognosis, but yeah. That's a big loss for Cherry Creek. Fortunately, Carlson Tan is back. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, he is stepping up tonight. And the rest of the squad has had a share of injuries. Thomas Fisher was out last week or 2 weeks ago with a broken back.
Yeah, I think Fish might be sitted for a while.
Yeah.
He's got the back brace. But some good guys in the secondary. Braylon Warren in the 7th period broadcast media class. Sam Pesnerd's back as well. And Henry Lamar back in there at linebacker. So some good guys on the defense back out there for the Bruins this week. They'll get the ball with 16 seconds left. And you never really know what they've got planned. They could just send it to the locker room. But as it looks like Hammond's going to set up in the shotgun with 3 receivers, they might be trying to take a shot here and perhaps set up a field goal, if not a touchdown.
Well, you'd love to set Bowden the leg page up.
You would love to see that. All right, so Bruins thinking pass, and it's going to be Tan with some open space. Tan will get to the 35 and stay in bounds. We have a flag in the backfield. This one's coming. We have 2 flags, actually. This one is most likely coming back.
I think those flags were at the same offense.
Same play.
Yeah.
This one will be coming back. So 5-yard penalty. We're going to replay first down with 5 seconds left.
I don't know this song from the Grandview student section, Ben, but it's got a funky beat.
Are you joking? It's Sweet Caroline.
It's Sweet Caroline?
Yeah.
Well, Ben, I got the headphones. I know Sweet Caroline. Give me a break.
I don't know this one.
They play Sweet Caroline over the loudspeaker like once a week. Cherry Creek High School during lunch.
Come on,
periods.
Matthew.
I know
Bum,
Sweet
bum,
Caroline.
bum. Yeah, that's a good one. The Cherry Creek Marching Band will undoubtedly have that one before this one's all said and done. And that will bring us to the conclusion of this first half. 14-7, Cherry Creek leads. That's about all the thoughts I can leave you with from right now as I'm needed down on the field, but I'll leave you with Matthew Anderson in the Cherry Creek halftime report.
Yes, that is correct. Thank you, Ben. I am in charge of the entire halftime report because Ben, as a homecoming royalty nominee, he's got the sash and everything, will be down on the field. I will be right back, going to go speak to Mr. Knockel, and we'll be back.
Something cold, baby, cheers to this. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Play that music too loud. Show me what you do. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Morning comes and you know that you wanna stay. Close the blinds, let's pretend that the time has changed. Keep our clothes on the floor, open up champagne. Stay and welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go a while.
Some audio there from your Cherry Creek Marching Band. Premier marching band in the state of Colorado. Always a pleasure to listen to. Now they're going to go ahead and form something of a tunnel for our homecoming court. I'm sure this isn't a concept foreign to most people. Cherry Creek High School goes through this process of nominating a variety of students from a number of different grades, all 4, and sorry, distracted there for a minute. Back now with our homecoming court. We have 10 total nominees in each of the 4 grades, so 40 total nominees. We have our Duke and Duchess for freshmen, Lord and Lady, Prince and Princess, and of course King and Queen. And then tomorrow at the homecoming dance, 10:15 p.m., they will crown the winners, the homecoming Duke, the homecoming Duchess, the homecoming Lord, homecoming Lady. We're down to 5 nominees. It's been a rigorous process over the past 2 weeks. And here are your King and Queen nominees. From Student Senate, Lana Addis. National Honor Society, Steele Billings. Softball, Demi DeVol. Boys Tennis, Casey Dennis. Speech and Debate, Sasha Langwin. Cherry Creek Sports Network, our very own play-by-play, Ben Paris. Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Kel McDavid. Student Senate, David Schmall. National Honor Society, Arya Joe. Speech and Debate, Shreyas Shriram. Of course, each of them escorted there by their parents. King nominees escorted by their mothers, Queen nominees escorted by their fathers. And if you think you've heard the name Shreyas Shriram before, it's because you have. He's, of course, Cherry Creek's varsity placeholder. You see him there at the back in his football uniform, number 94. That coveted number 94. Of course, the homecoming court is part of one of the many festivities. We've had a variety of festivities today. Pep assembly, best pep assembly I've ever been to. Homecoming carnival after school. Then tomorrow there will be the dance. And I think we're going to get you a closer look at some of these nominees. Benjamin Paris on the left, Benjamin Paris on the right, David Schmall on the left. There's your holder, Shreyas Shriram. And such a classically American festivity. Here in such a beautiful night. All 40 nominees. They're on the screen for you now. You see a couple of other football players. They don't train me to commentate on the homecoming court. Certainly an interesting festivity, and Benjamin Paris, Cherry Creek's very own, Cherry Creek Sports Network's very own, down there on the field. Right in the center there, next to his mother, Miss Paris. A lot of familiar faces in this crowd. There's Ben giving us the look into the camera, the smile. What a charismatic guy. There are your homecoming king and queen nominees. The winner will be decided tomorrow, 10:15 p.m., West Gym, for the homecoming dance. And in the meantime, we'll get back to the game. I'm not quite sure if we're getting the audio, but a whole student section chant. I'm not quite good at it. Just goes something like P-A-R-T-Y, party, 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 party's on our side, party over here. But just encapsulates the homecoming festivity as this ball is taken from the 1. Makes a man miss at the 15. Up to the 40. Ball almost loose there. Bouncing into Creek territory, and boy, did he make a man miss. I think he might have broken some ankles there. Literally. Number 8, Angelo Petrides, is down, and he's back up. All right. But a very impressive run for the senior Tristan Burris, a guy we've talked about for his incredible speed, and as we've learned throughout the course of this broadcast, this Wolves team is speed. We got a guy out here with a 4.340, and Ben, I had to do play-by-play for a play. That was tough.
How was it, Matthew?
Yeah, well, it was okay. I said broke some ankles. I said
I like that.
He got up to the 55 on Creek's side.
Was that off the kickoff? Or on first down?
That was off the kickoff.
All
yeah,
right.
No, this is first down here.
All right, well, that pass will fall incomplete in and out of the hands of number 2, Tristan Burris. We'll bring up 2nd and 10 for Grandview now. And, wow, it looks like just a moment we might have this 4-2.
4-3.
4-3.
4-2 would break a world record. Usain Bolt's record is 4.22, which just goes to show how insane a 4.340 is.
Actually, it's hard to comprehend. It really is. It's just hard to think that someone runs that fast.
Well, most of all, I'm just jealous, Ben. I mean,
Suzuka hands off on 2nd and 10 as they'll get to about the 40-yard line to bring up a 3rd and long conversion for the Wolves on their opening drive of this second half. And here we have it, the 4-3-30. 40. Can't get all the numbers right in one sentence. All right. I'm impressed. We have the timestamp, so I believe it, but that's wild. Thanks, Johnny. 3rd and 6 coming up from the 40-yard line. Shizuka finds himself under center. Play action. Rolled out to his right, then looked left. Screen pass, and the running back lost his footing, and he's going to be marked down at the line of scrimmage as Al-Safar got no gain on the play. Will bring up 4th and 6, and for the time being, it looks like that Grandview is keeping the offense on the field, down 7 on their first drive of the second half. And just like they did the first time, they're going to run their punt team back out with just about 15 seconds on the play clock, and now they're down to about 5 as Larson back there deep for the Bruins. And they get the snap up with 1 left, and it will bounce at the 10. We'll take a friendly bounce for Cherry Creek, a yard or 2 forward, and they'll get the ball back just inside the 15-yard line. So Grandview pins the Bruins back deep, and they'll take on over on offense for the first time in the half, trying to build on that 7-point lead.
Ben, you asked Coach Doherty in interviews this week, does he know Coach Logan's secrets? The answer is, of course.
He said he didn't know one secret.
He knows a few of them. But the most important secret is that Dave Logan changes secrets basically, every week. He's always going to throw something at the next coach that he isn't prepared for. And Doherty knows the power of this technique. He's used it against Cherry Creek tonight.
And the Bruins stay on the ground on first down. We'll get a nice gain to bring up about a 2nd and 6. As we take a look, he knows the secrets. He had a pretty successful career here as well as we take a look at Coach Doherty's 9-year tenure here at Cherry Creek.
90-22 record, Ben.
That's a lot of winning.
That is a lot of winning. It was a big deal this year when, who was it? The Giants won 107 games in a season. Dodgers 106, right? And, of course, Grandview Wolves, or Doherty at Creek has a better winning percentage than that. 4 state championship appearances, 3 wins.
As Hammond's looking to pass,
Wow.
He's got CC on the near sideline. Is he in? Yes, he is, and that will give the Bruins a first down. And Matthew, with the Bruins' 5th win of the season, Coach Logan is at 95 wins in his career because Doherty until last year joined Cherry Creek the same time Coach Logan does. So he's 5 wins away from his 100th as the Bruins head coach.
Yeah, right. 95 wins in his career as a Creek coach.
That's not even close to his whole career.
Right. He's been at Creek since, I believe, 09. And no, he's been at
11? 10 or 11?
11 or
11.
Okay.
I think 2011 or 12.
Yeah. And before that, of course, he was at Mullen, Arvada West. Dominant programs follow him where he goes. And so we're going to get a by-the-numbers graphic here for Cherry Creek so far this season. We talked about it earlier. 19 sacks. They're second in the state. Blake Perch is second in the state with 11 sacks.
As an individual.
As an individual, correct. 25 touchdowns total. You see that run pass balance, 10 in the pass, 15 in the run.
We're going to make that 17 rushing, 10 passing as of right now.
Yeah, and of course that 300 yards per game statistic, that's a nasty statistic, Ben. 300 yards per game. There aren't many teams running those kinds of numbers at the 5A level, and that's part of what makes Cherry Creek, and Grandview has similar numbers, what makes them so high up in these rankings.
Hammond rolls out to his right, delivers a strike to Kyle Day. He'll drag his feet at the 50-yard line, and that will be another Bruins first down on the about 16-yard reception.
And my most immediate reflection, Ben, is that the coverage from Grandview has been a lot weaker on this drive. Coyote and Ishmael Sissi have had too much room to work with. Whatever they changed in their structure for Cherry Creek that's made it successful, Grandview's going to have to very quickly adapt because you can't let Cherry Creek keep making these long plays.
As Hammond looking to pass again, he finds Cchs at the 30-yard line. A 20-yard reception for Ismail Cchs. And Matthew, you're right. The passing lanes are opening up.
Well, the passing lanes are open. I'd say that's probably one of the more closed passing lanes Hammond's had to throw into tonight. But wow, that was a nice pinpoint throw, right? I mean, for Hammond, the passing lanes, they have been open, but they don't necessarily need to be because he's just that accurate.
And credit to the receivers. These last three completions have all been right on the sidelines, and the receivers have had to make plays to stay in bounds. Another 1st and 10 as Carlson Tan will get through the 25 down to the 22-yard line on what the scoreboard says 2nd and 50. I can assure you it's not that. 2nd and 2, rather. As the Bruins are knocking on the red zone again as they try to get a 2-score lead early in the second half. And it looks like Coach Logan might burn a timeout here with 8 seconds on the play clock.
Never afraid to burn those timeouts, Ben.
And he will burn his first time of the half.
He's a deep thinker, that Coach Logan. And, I'd say it's often a fact for high school football coaches that they don't use their timeouts as much as they can. And that's just a small way that Coach Logan has learned to give himself an advantage, to use all 3 of his timeouts pretty consistently, to not be afraid to use them early.
You know who does use timeout effectively is Matthew? Us here in the booth, as we're going to send it down to Reagan Kenobi. Reagan, your first half thoughts as the Bruins lead at 14-7.
Well, Ben, this is a bit awkward. You came up a bit late, so I forgot to mention to you that I was wondering if it would somehow still work. I forgot to mention it to you that our AirPods are broken. So we have worked out a solution. We're gonna see her at the quarter.
Man, I really had the whole setup about using timeouts and everything, Matthew.
Well, it was a beautiful setup, Ben, and you had the moment for about 2 seconds.
If you're watching at home, don't be surprised when we may or may not reuse that before the end of the regular season. But, okay. We'll hear from Reagan later. 7:22, rather, left in the third quarter, 2nd and 2 on the 22 for Cherry Creek. As Christian Hammond looking in the air again. Going to take himself towards the right, looking for the sticks. He's got the first down and more as he gets out right about the 15-yard line and will set the Bruins up in the red zone once again, where 1 for 1 for touchdowns in the end zone, so red zone rather, so far tonight.
And Ben, I think we're going to get a nice photo of you here on the screen. You and 10 others.
We might get some more Evan Johnson as well before things are all said and done. 1st and 10 on the 15. As Johnston took it to his right to about the 10-yard line. And it's going to bring up 2nd and about 6 or 7 for Cherry Creek. Second and 8 as the Bruins get their personnel on the field. As Hammond in the shotgun. He's got Pollard to his right as Hammond rolling right. Throwing, and it's going to fall incomplete. Bring up 3rd and long for Cherry Creek inside the 15. Join the conversation as always at Cherry Creek SN. We are back with some more Evan Johnson. This is to win the state championship. I was going to say last spring, but really last summer, Matthew. Not quite the 4-3, but really a gold medal performance.
Just wait, Ben. I was having a hard time not reacting when we didn't have the video on screen. This is incredible. Johnny's got this nice setup for us here where we can see several videos at once. And
I believe this is the 100.
no, this is the 400.
400, rather.
Yeah.
I knew that. I knew that.
He's
One lap's 400.
I mean, just watch this finish.
It's dominant.
Logan called a timeout here, so we're good to watch this. What? There's no one. There's no one, Ben.
It's just so dominant.
These are the fastest men in the state, and there's no one near him.
Evan Johnson has blown Matthew Anderson's mind here as we look back at the field of play. 3rd and 8 is what the Bruins have when they come out of the timeout.
All right, I got to look up his 400-meter time, Ben. That's insane. I mean, there are guys in that race running 52-second 400 meters. 48. It's right there on my screen. 48.
Wow.
Where's he going to college, Ben?
Matthew, not quite sure.
I want to know. That is truly, truly remarkable.
Pull out the Google machine and we can find out. Of course, we got Kai going to Colorado State. And Kai's really our benchmark for speed at Cherry Creek. We talk about him all of the time.
I am correct, and he's the fastest guy at Cherry Creek.
Yes.
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 Well, definitely in the 400 meter. All right. Evan Johnson. I'm typing him into mile split as we speak, Ben. Oh, my dad says, okay. That was the 4x100 meters.
Oh, it was close.
Okay, so it was the 100. So that's the 10-8.
Hammond looking to pass. His pockets completely collapsed. He's got around defenders, and he's eventually going to be brought down and sacked. Flag in the backfield at the 21-yard line, and that's going to be Hammond's 3rd sack of the night if it stands.
All right, no signings listed on mile split yet for Evan Johnson.
Well, we have a moment. We can talk about the signings that are there. 2 announced this week, yesterday that is. Shelby Balding, Riley Stewart, Cherry Creek Girls Cross Country, Auburn for Shelby, and Stanford for Riley Stewart. That's unbelievable, and I have to wish congratulations to those 2 guys who are absolute competitors and just such amazing people, Matthew. And I know you get to work more closely with them than I do.
Well, Ben, I do run cross country, yes. Not at their level. It's truly remarkable just how dominant our girls cross country team is, led by Riley Stewart. I believe she's the fastest girl in the state in the 5,000 meter.
Yes.
And, you know, she's been around since middle school. She used to lap girls in the 1,600.
Disgusting.
And of course, you know, today she dominates cross country races.
Nationally.
Yeah, that's how you get recruited
Across
to
the
Stanford,
country,
right?
yeah.
Stanford runs one of the best women's cross country programs in the nation. So that's her recruitment to there is just an absolute testament to the strength of her as an athlete, and she's built up the whole team. You know, we think of cross country as an individual sport, but it really is a team sport because at the end of the day, that's who's scoring. And we have amazing depth on our team. All right, I'll let this play finish. It's going to be Bubba Tan.
On 3rd and 10, Tan gets close to the line to gain. Might be. No, he should have enough for the first down.
All right, well, I don't want to talk your ear off about cross country, but
I'd love to hear it, Matthew, because it's nothing short of special.
Yeah, I mean, we are the Cherry Creek Sports Network too, after all, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have amazing depth on our team. I can't even go into all like 15 girls that are just remarkable, that would run varsity at any other school at a league, in our league. They had a meet today. New course. It's going to be a tough one. 5 of the top 25 teams in the nation were running.
Was it a tough one, Matthew?
Well, the course was going to be a tough one.
In theory, I think it was supposed to be a tough one.
Cherry Creek, they emerged victorious with
Again.
5 of the top 25 teams in the nation.
Whoa, a jump.
Yeah, that happens occasionally in
We
football.
talk about, and I can't finish this without making a comment about Stanford, because we talk about it a lot in the state about a girls basketball pipeline from Colorado to the university. But when you think about Cole Sprout out of Valor Christian is there, and now Riley Stewart will be there come next year, just the Pac-12 really, 1, conference a champion place to be, but 2, the talent in Colorado athletically, and we're seeing more and more football players go out of state, which the in-state universities, of course, aren't happy about. The 1-4 Buffaloes can't be anywhere happy about that. But the talent in the state is unreal as we get out to the right side and into the end zone. Touchdown, Bruins!
All right, and to just quickly conclude this conversation about the talent in Colorado, we're sending another young athlete off, not from Cherry Creek, from Niwot, out to Stanford, Zane Bergen. He runs a sub-15 5K. That means he runs like a 4:40 mile for 3.1 straight miles. So, something about training at altitude, Ben.
Matt, you got to tell me, her name, she went to Valor Christian. Her first name's Anna. But was at Georgia, went to the Olympic trials, transferred to the University of Florida in the SEC. But really, cross country in Colorado, a big deal. But really, just athletically, it's a state that people underrate, and I'm happy to say.
And another big deal in Colorado, place holding. Straight run there on the amazing place hold, and kicking too. Bowden Lake Page, another guy on the special teams we don't talk about often, Brady Rads. Brady Rads, 4.5-star recruit. He is for long snapping. I really made you laugh there, Ben.
The placeholder. You talk about, some places will call themselves wide receiver U. Some people will call their schools tight end U, quarterback U. Is Colorado really Holder State?
Holder U.
Holder U.
Cherry Creek
is Holder HS.
Yeah.
Who was the previous Holder, Matthew? Do we know?
Not Trey Shriram.
No clue. Bowden the leg page puts it through the end zone, and it will be a touchback with 5:29 left to go in quarter number 3.
Yeah.
Anna Hall. Thank you, Johnny. Anna Hall out of Valor Christian.
I want to get some more information on Brady Rads. Unfortunately, it's difficult to find the recruiting info for long snappers because it's all through the I want to say Ray Guy's program. Anyways, Brady Rads, he's up there. He's like the 5th best long snapper in the nation. Very skilled, and gosh, what a unit those 3 boys are.
And Matthew, what's cool to see is not all programs really in the state have such good special teams that they can rely on. Is that pass intercepted?
Maybe a flag on the play. Raises questions for you.
No ruling on if the pass was complete or incomplete because of the flag, so you have a feeling that this one will be coming back against Cherry Creek.
But some good heads-up play there from Cherry Creek's I'm going to go ahead and assume it's Randy. We have 2 number 4s on our roster. I think that's going to be Randy Trong.
So after the penalty, Grandview will have 1st and 10 now at the 35. So no interception for Trog. As Grandview looking to go deep, and it's going to be incomplete. Logan Brantley there on the coverage as they were looking for Tristan Burris on the deep shot. Bring up 2nd and 10 after that incompletion.
Ben, I got my eyes glued to number 21, bottom of the screen, Evan Johnson.
As they're going to go up the middle with the handoff, and a good one with some power is Al-Safar again.
Ben, if you go to a typical football practice, probably one of the most likely things you'll hear is finish. Wrap him up, take him to the ground. And the reason coaches talk about that so much is guys like Musa Al-Safar, guys who have so much power as runners that it takes just everything you have in your body when it comes to tackling to bring them down. And that's the reason Al-Safar is so famous, you know, as far as high school football is concerned. He's just a force.
And we take a look at what was coming up for the Bruins. Not to get ahead of ourselves, next week Bruins are going to go to Arapahoe senior night against Eagle Crest during the fall break, which, man, Bruins have a tough schedule this year, and they'll wrap things up week 10 at Smoky Hill.
And yeah, definitely not to get ahead of ourselves. I mean,
still 21-7 here at the Stutler Bowl in week 7, as both teams came in at 5-1. And Al-Safar escaped a tackle. Talk about finishing, Matthew.
Yeah.
We'll bring up 3rd and 7.
All right, Ben, here's my game plan. You put Evan Johnson out wide, send him deep, blazing. Hopefully he gets some space. You have Cesarka nail him. I mean, we saw his anchor in the 4x100.
All right, well.
They don't pay me to be the coach, though, so I'm not sure how good that
They
game plan
do pay
is.
Coach Doherty, though.
Yeah.
And really, when you get speed like that, it's an asset.
Of course.
As another deep shot, and it's going to fall incomplete as they were looking for Burris on that fly route. Good coverage there from the Bruins. 3rd and 7 coming up, and we'll see if Grandview will end up sending out the punt team with about 15 seconds left to go on the play clock. What do you think about that tactic, Matthew? We've seen it 2 or 3 times tonight.
I think Coach Doherty is trying to keep things on his toes. Yeah.
And here they come. 10 seconds on the play clock this time.
I'm going to be candid. They're not that slick with it. Oh!
Talk about slick, Matthew! Wow, they eat your words, Matthew Anderson, says Coach Doherty. But we have a flag down. I believe the pass may have been released in front of the line of scrimmage, which was the 50-yard line. I don't know if we can get a replay of that by any means. Yep. So 50. Oh, he was behind the line.
Oh, my gosh, Ben.
That play should stand.
Well, I'll tell you.
If that's what the flag was on.
It was obvious that they were going to sub some guys in. They had like 6 guys standing on the sideline like, let's go. But what wasn't obvious is that that's what they were going to run.
All right, where's our pass? Behind the 50. Yeah, he's behind the line the whole way. Grandview's going to get a penalty, though.
Wow. That was. I'm not sure they were fully set up at the line of scrimmage when they snapped the ball. But hey, Doherty's got some secrets of his own. And Ben, I'll tell you, there's little greater satisfaction than pulling off a clean trick play like that.
And Coach Doherty playing with the officials. And he's not happy about that one.
Can you tell what that penalty was for?
Not quite, not 110% sure, Matthew.
Me neither.
So they're going to do it again. Punt team comes out 4th and 12, but now you know to keep an eye out for that.
Well, that kind of defeats the point of a trick play, doesn't it?
Oh, Grandview had a player running on as the punt was let go, as Larson going to take this one, moves to his left and is not wrapped up until he is at the 30. And that was, did you see that guy coming on as the ball was punted? I think it was 46, just flew straight on.
I've got a guy in my ear, Ben, telling me they believe it was an illegal shift.
The guy's down in the truck.
Yeah, the guy's down in the truck. We got, like 50 analysts here, a couple of spotters. Yeah,
It's a high quality production.
they're always in my ear, letting me know things. They say it was an illegal shift, that penalty that brought things back. So of course that's the risk you run when you swap out your personnel with 15 seconds left. The risk of an illegal shift. Worth the try though. That was awesome.
Got to thank our rules analyst for that one.
Our rules analyst, the guy in my ear.
Can only call him Mr. A at this point in time. Bruins kept on the ground on 1st and 10.
Dr. A.
Dr. A, rather.
Yeah.
Apologies to the doctor down in the truck.
Yeah, and in my ear. Ben, a trick play I'm hoping to see this season from our very own Shreya Sriram. I would love to see some kind of field goal fake. I don't even know if they have it in the
We
works.
haven't gotten to see it in 3 years, but Shreya's is I'm sure I see him throwing the ball a lot on the sidelines. I think he's prepared if it's called. As Tan will get enough yards for the first down. Oh, and he's in some pain.
Well, Ben, I'll be candid with you. Is he up? No. Sorry, I thought he got right back up. Let's talk about this for a second. I mean, Bubba Tan, he has had quite the night. Clock's going to go ahead and stop.
We're going to take a quick break right here on CCSN.
Monster in my head, time to write my scripture. Tearing through my heart, need to paint a picture. Praying that my faith won't let me down. Cutting through my soul, there's a world wide open. Look up at the stars, trying to find my moment. Push it till I break, or the clock runs out. 'Cause we don't hide, we don't cry, we don't die out. I just wanna be victorious. Doesn't matter what my story is. Even when the darkness shines, I'm not gonna lose this fight. I just wanna be victorious.
generally it's our policy just not to comment on injuries as much as possible. So Bubba Tan injured there. He's going to come off at least for one play.
And Hammond will get himself up to the 50. He did walk off just with a little bit of assistance, and that is as far as we know at the moment.
In the meantime, we saw that film from Cherry Creek's,
there's a great story behind that film.
Cherry Creek's very own Jonathan Varghese. He, of course, our director, we've mentioned him many times. We're very grateful for him. Last night, or rather about a week ago, Dr. Keogh, our activities director, says, I want a homecoming film. And of course, when you want a homecoming film, there's one person in the Cherry Creek student body you can go to.
Only one person.
And his name is Jonathan Varghese.
That's my director.
Yes. And he labored this past week to get that footage.
He labored this past night.
Oh, Johnny, did you sleep at all? Give me on your fingers, how many hours of sleep did you get? He got 2 hours of sleep.
I'm guessing 5 to 7 in the morning yesterday. 5 to 7?
No.
3 to 5. 3 to 5.
3 to 5. So, you know, he works hard. He works hard. And
all that footage he got yesterday, the editing, I mean, everything. I mean, if you are out there in need of any type of production,
yeah,
Johnny has, please keep in mind that he's a human being, but his turnaround times are insane.
And
as Hammett delivers a strike.
And Ben, I don't want to talk too much about Jonathan Varghese lest he get embarrassed by how cool he is. But he's pretty embarrassed.
Walking into a room and seeing Jonathan Varghese always humbles you.
Well, he's running the he's shooting for a wedding tomorrow.
Oh.
Then he'll be doing homecoming festivities.
Wow.
And then it's all right back to the school grind, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Max Smith with that reception, sophomore, I believe his first of the year. As Hammond looks to Kyer Johnston past the sticks will bring up another Bruins first down as they are marching into the red zone as clock will stop at 19 seconds left to go in the third as the receiver gets out of bounds.
Stopping only because the chains are, oh, you're right. He did get out of bounds, yeah. Took me a second to register there, Ben.
Sports are hard, Matthew.
Yeah.
First and 10, 14. Bruins back in the red zone. And getting ready down on the sideline is our Reagan Kenobi. I am 100% sure we'll have her this time. A little bit of a high snap for Hammond. Looking to throw and caught. Kai O'Day with that reception for about 7 or 8 yards, and that should bring us to the close of quarter number 3. So the Bruins lead at 21-7 at the end of 3 as we get ready to send it down to Reagan Kenobi. Reagan, we go down to you.
Hey Ben, I'm here with Dr. Keogh, Activities Director and Student Senate Advisor. Dr. Keogh, it was Spirit Week this week. What was it like to see that week come together?
Well, because we haven't really been able to do this for a couple of years, my kids and I were really excited just to have actual events with fans in the stands and people being able to participate, so it was a really fun week.
And how did you guys prepare for that? How much work did it really take?
Well, we started as soon as we got back from summer. We started planning that first week of school. We got into committees and just started deciding what events we wanted to try, and we did a couple new ones that were great. We brought back Powder Puff again this year, which was fun. We did a Family Feud, which was a new event, and Dodgeball was a hit as always. And then I feel like today the Pup Assembly was really an awesome way to finish the week, and lots of kids involved, and so tons of planning, but it was really a great week.
And what can we look forward tomorrow at the dance?
Oh my gosh, so I'm actually really excited about the dance. We're changing it up a little bit this year because we haven't been able to have a dance. So we're going to have a gym that's just for dancing, but then we're going to have a gym that's full of games and activities, and then we're going to have desserts and outdoor seating, and it'll be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, we're looking forward to the rest of this game and tomorrow with the homecoming dance. Back to you, Ben.
Reagan, thank you. Dr. K, you as well. Thank you for your time. Matthew, it was just such an incredible week from start to finish. We kicked it off with Powder Puff. The class of 2022 came away victorious. Lily Assini, girls lacrosse, was the star of that game. And we'll touch more on this week as Hammond looks to throw it. It's intercepted. There's no one left to beat. All the way down the sideline, a pick six for the Wolves. Touchdown. Wow.
Well, Ben, the week is not over yet. We have a Wolf injured, but that was incredible. I mean, this Grandview team is speed, man. And a great off-the-ball read.
They're right back in it, Matthew, and they were never really out of it.
Yeah, of course not. This is Tom Doherty's Grandview Wolves. And just what a versatile set of players they've proven to be for all 4 years that we've been in high school.
And as we await the extra point, it is good. 14-7, it's a one-possession game with almost an entire fourth quarter left.
21-14.
21-14.
You know, Ben, you didn't have a guy in your ear there. That's the problem.
That extra point was good, correct?
Certainly seemed to me to be good.
I think the extra point was good.
Well, our scoreboard says 14. The stadium scoreboard says 13. Ben is going to run over to the press box, ask them about that extra point. Looked to be good to me, but I'm not on the field. And a huge shout out to Dr. Keogh, the activities director, doing that interview for us with Reagan. Ben's come to inform us extra point was no good. Ben, that's uncomfortable.
That is uncomfortable.
That means you're going to have to go for two if you're going to tie this in only one score. And whew, man, you got to wonder what the difference with Shreya Sriram was holding.
And we're going to blow that play dead as O'Day grabbed that one in the end zone. All right, Matthew, you got a whole quarter left. Anything could really happen here. The Bruins have not been this close in a game in the fourth quarter all season long.
That is, well, excepting,
Chandler.
of course, the Chandler game, which was a loss. But they've never had a lead this close, that is for sure. And that may be a consequence of the fact that Grandview was the best team they've yet played in terms of ranking and really just in terms of, I guess I would call it common sense. I mean, these are two of the four best teams in Colorado high school football, at least according to the coaches, who seem to usually get it pretty right.
As Johnson will get this one and get across to about the 22-yard line.
And so now is the time for a slow, sustained drive. You've got a couple of weapons. For the moment, Bubba Tan isn't back in. And tonight is not the time to, or this drive is not the time to take some of the bigger risks. Go back to your bread and butter. Beat down a tired Grandview defense. Don't let your tiredness get to you. And
really
eat up that clock.
Feed off the energy you got here in the Stutler Bowl as well, because this is not energy that's easy to come by, as we'll get delay a game on the Bruins. Ooh. First, we got a timeout from Coach Logan before the delay a game, so that will save the 5 yards. The Bruins are out of timeouts, Matthew, for the remainder of this game, and really all 11 minutes of the fourth quarter is what that is.
Well, that is true. Of course, they have use those timeouts on things that were worthwhile to use their timeouts on, saving themselves from penalties. If Coach Logan sees something before the play that he knows is going to make the play fail, he generally speaking calls a timeout. Not being down here late into the game, it shouldn't be too much of an issue that they don't have timeouts. But you never know. Grandview comes back, puts up 2 scores. It'll be a huge problem that they don't have timeouts.
As the teams will come out of the timeouts, Bruins will have 2nd and 8. As they burn their final timeout.
And Ben, watching these coaches walk off the field in opposite directions, Logan in one, Doherty in the other, it's hard not to think of the respect these 2 coaches have for each other. Working for each other for 12 years, having this very close personal relationship that Doherty has talked about so much, and both being just great football minds with great football teams.
As Hammond get a handoff and move to the left side. Some broken tackles, going to be pretty close to the sticks. And that is Arian Boyd. And he'll have enough for the first down as he gets across the 30. CC at the bottom of the formation by himself. Hammond in the shotgun. He's going to hand off to Boyd again. And we've got 2 flags down.
And these line judges were trying to tell someone on the line to correct their positioning. Question is who? Offense, defense?
And we're going to get a false start on the offense. It's declined. Holding also on the offense. And we're going to replay first down. Matthew, if I'm not mistaken, should a false start just be a dead ball as soon as it happens?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, 2nd and 20.
Oh, wait. It was a dead ball as soon as it happened.
Was it?
Yeah.
Or did they run the play?
No,
Okay.
No, my bad.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, holding isn't a dead ball.
There you go.
Which was the penalty they actually accepted. Because, of course, that's more yards.
As Hammond rolling out to the right, trying to find a receiver. And he overthrows his intended target. It's going to go incomplete. He was looking for Max Smith. Maxwell Rodriguez, rather. 2 number 13s. Second and 21 after the incompletion and the holding penalty. Salmon looking to pass. Rolling out to his left, gonna let one go way deep to Coyote, and he gets overthrown. Incomplete. Bring up 3rd and pretty long for the Bruins.
I don't know, Ben. That's a gutsy throw. You're in double coverage. What was that, 60 yards down the field?
On 2nd and long, when you'd love to give yourself a more manageable 3rd down.
Of course, and I wouldn't mind for the clock to keep running also. You know, give Grandview as little time as they can. Probably they're going to need to put up 2 scores. Or, you know, quite possibly. I don't have the TI-84 out for the probabilities yet.
Hammond just going to take himself to try to get some yardage upfield. He gets just shy of the original line of scrimmage. And it looks like the Bruins are going to have to punt for, I believe, the first time tonight.
I'm going to call it the second.
Second.
I believe on their second drive they punted.
I do have that written down.
Yeah. It's a nice spreadsheet you got there, Ben.
Thanks, Matthew.
Yeah, that's like the OG spreadsheet before they had computers. It's a paper spreadsheet.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. Got it on that nice legal paper?
We got this one on the regular.
Oh, okay. You're a big fan of the
And
legal paper.
big fan for the spotting sheets.
Oh.
Grandview will take over with just under 9 minutes to go, down by 8 points.
And our viewers at home really should see the kinds of Word documents you put together for each of these games.
Oh, Matthew.
I mean, there is so much information on these things. Oh, yeah, here we go. Thank you, Johnny. Quite an impressive Word document.
Thank you.
It's got it here on the legal paper, too. Color-coded. Wow.
All right, 8:59 left to go as Grandview takes back over on their own 30-yard lines. They stay on the ground and are met by the Bruin offensive line. Ezron Rice easy with the tackle. No gain on the play. Will bring up now 2nd and 10. Second and 10 on the 30 with the clock running. As Cesarka gonna hand it off again, and there's the Bruins D-line.
Oh, man, I told you this would be a fascinating battle earlier in the game. You got one of the most experienced offensive lines in all of Colorado high school football. And on the opposite side, you've got, I would say, a less experienced defensive line in terms of time, but a very experienced defensive line in terms of older mentorship, right? These guys are learning from Gus Zielinskis, Arden Walker, top college recruits, and they've been able to leverage that education very well.
Before they snap their 3rd and 9 play, pretty big moment in the game coming for the Wolves. Tom Doherty takes his first timeout of the half. Matthew, what are the odds you think we have Reagan?
Well, geez, Bennett, you're the one on the phone call with her, so I'm gonna go with you have the
Reagan,
odds.
we're gonna attempt to send it down to you for your thoughts on what's currently happening before Grandview has a pretty big moment in this game. Reagan, the floor is yours.
I actually got that one.
Oh, thanks, Reagan.
Honestly, that pick 6 was pretty devastating. They ran that all the way back, and that wasn't what we like to see. But our defense is playing really well on this Grandview drive. Blake Purchase with some huge tackles and Easy Rice. I think the defense has really come out to play tonight, and they're super high energy, which we always like to see. Great tackle right there. So hopefully we see a lot more from the defense tonight. Maybe a sack, I don't know. Back up to you, Ben.
Thanks, Reagan.
She's got the right idea, Ben. I mean, this Cherry Creek defense is amazing with the sacks, but not to overshadow Tristan Burris. You know, Ben, you're a big fan of the jumping reception. You're just a big fan of jumping in football in general, I'd say.
I'm just a big fan of jumping, period.
Yeah, jumping, period, right. But Tristan Burris there with heads-up awareness.
And he moves the chain on 3rd and 9.
Yeah, that's key. You know, this is why he's one of those core members of the receiving corps.
And over the middle, another completion. A great play by the Wolves to number 81, Simon Kibbe, the junior tight end. And we have a flag in the backfield. Looks like this one might be coming back.
I want to know what drills they're running, Ben. What drills are they running to be making these high-impact catches high in the air when the throw isn't necessarily super accurate? Of course, Cesarka's been under quite a bit of pressure, and he's doing a great job making these throws in a way that his receivers have been staggeringly capable of catching. I mean, some of these jump balls, astonishing.
These guys can run, they can jump. I mean, great athletes on both sides of the ball, and that's really what you get in this Centennial League because we say that for most of the teams that we play, if not all of them.
Well, Ben, I can run and jump too. And but the thing is, they can run very fast. 4.340. Anchor the 4x100 and just destroy the crowd. Coyote's got the 10.7 100. And they can jump higher than I can and catch the ball too, right? So you're right. They can run and jump, and they can do it very well. I'd say we're not the best at
anything.
Analyzing athleticism. But it is certainly a spectacle to behold.
As someone who isn't as athletic as I'd hoped I'd be at, 17 or 18, it doesn't take a lot to impress me.
Well, Ben, I'm curious what this penalty is.
It is coming back I think they're going to have longer than 1st and 20. 1st and 22 the call. So a 10-yard penalty was 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I didn't see a sign from the ref, but I'm sure they're confident about it. They spent a long time debating that penalty.
Grandview on 1st and long, going to have to stay on the ground, try to get some yardage. The Bruins are not going to let it happen as they get a short gain on the play to set up 2nd and long.
Cherry Creek Marching Band, Ben.
Matthew, I heard this rendition of Bang a lot of times on the Spirit Bus on Tuesday, and it did not get old a single time. This was a classic, the Ariana Grande, Nicki Minaj, mid-2010s. 2nd and 20 from the 31. Grandview a possession back in the game, and there's a sack, but there's a flag down in the secondary. And now the officials will talk this one over. Holding on Cherry Creek, that one in the secondary. No mic on the official tonight, so not sure where the holding penalty's taken from. It should still be 2nd down.
I'm terribly confused, Ben. Didn't we call a holding penalty?
We did. The ball went backwards, though. It was most definitely on Cherry Creek.
Did they just take it back?
Okay, so 2nd down, maybe?
All right, Ben. Board says 3. Sticks say 2. You know what, Ben? I'm going to leave this up to being a cosmological mystery. I have no idea.
So 2nd down, and
are we calling it 2nd or are we calling it 3rd? Sticks say 2nd, board says 3rd.
And now we have delay of game.
What is happening?
And now what?
Grandview crowd is assuring the refs that they did not give them the full 25 seconds to line up, which I think the Grandview crowd may actually be correct.
Okay, 2nd and very long. We'll call it 2nd and 28 according to the scoreboard now. All right, 2nd and 28. Grandview looking to pass. Ball's on the ground. And who's on top of it? That is a battle for the football. As it looks like the Grandview quarterback, Liam Cesarka, will be on top of it after he lost it. Going to bring up 3rd and probably 30. Yeah, 3rd and 31. 3rd and 31.
Well, gee, Ben.
You can't really go for it on 4th and super long, Matthew. And with 5.5 minutes left in the game, some decisions are going to have to be made.
Well, Ben, you don't have to read a football book to know that. I mean, this is a very difficult situation. It's been a very difficult set of downs. I'm just curious to see what they'll do.
3rd and 31. Grandview really has no option but to pass. It's going to be a screen. They'll get up to about the 30-yard line for about a 10-yard gain. We'll bring up 4th and 20, approaching the 5-minute point.
And it'll be Musafar with that run. He's a guy you can always count on. Johnny, I see the footage you're queuing up.
And Grandview's going punt. And they're going to let it go to Larson, who brings it in and is met with a defender at the 32-yard line. Oh, is this what I think it is?
It is what you think it is.
Oh, my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe the most anticipated video in CCSN broadcast history. It might not be what I think it is.
No, it is what you think it is. Promise you, Ben. Show it to us, Johnny. Here is a video of Grandview's very own Evan Johnson running the 4x100. You're going to see, or, you know what, I'm not exactly sure what event this is. We'll call it the 200 relay, or 800 relay. He's got the baton there. No one in sight, Ben. We should have seen it coming. Colleges should have been signing then.
I don't think this video is what I thought it was.
Oh, okay.
I thought we were getting a Matthew Anderson video.
Oh, no, Ben, you do not want to see me run that.
It was not. Meters. It's not what I thought it was. Maybe we'll save that one for senior night.
I don't think we'll save that one for anything.
As we have another flag down at the 25-yard line.
Well, what a treat. And, of course, I really appreciate this. Evan Johnson, hype man, if you will, on Twitter, joining the conversation by tweeting us at Cherry Creek SN. I mean,
it's the best segment in sports.
This is the best engagement we've ever gotten.
It's for sure up there.
Colleges out there, if you're watching right now,
recruit this guy.
Yeah, look out for my
Matthew
boy,
Anderson
Johnson.
says recruit this guy. All right, 4:26. Bruins are going to have 1st and 17 after the penalty. How do you put this one in the bag, Matthew?
The best thing to do would be to eat the clock and to work yourself down the field, try to make this a 2-score game, whether that be by a field goal or a touchdown.
That one's going to be a tackle for a loss by the Wolves.
And Ben, what I'd say on that matter is it's very simple. It's also very hard, right? I mean, to go 90 yards, you're tired. Of course, the opposite team is tired as well. But it's simple, but it's hard.
Second and now 21 for the Bruins. They've got some work left to try to move the chains.
Yeah, that's going to be the delay of game. Well, that's a risk you run when you try to run the clock nice and low. Sometimes you run it too low, you take a delay of game, and now it's going to be 2nd and 21, Ben. Or is it gonna, it's going to be 2nd and 26, is it?
Correct.
Yep. Whew. If I'm a Grandview defender right now, I'm really wanting them to hold here. I'm really wanting to hold them here.
2nd down, 27 yards to go. Bruins are back on their own 5. They hand it off. Whoa, that is close to the goal line. But the Bruins are going to turn it around and get upfield. As they'll slide across the 15 to about the 17, so a good chunk of yardage back, but now the Bruins are still going to have third and very long.
We got 2 number 5s on our roster. That's either Logan Brantley or Aurelio Marchiol. Yes.
Which is weird because Brantley is on the offense, or defense rather, and Marchiol is a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know, Ben. Rosters we get aren't always correct. In any case, whoever number 5 is has got some speed. And, man, that turnaround was nice.
Hammond looking to pass. Was looking for CC on the sideline. Don't believe that one was completed. So 4th and 14, 2:40 left. And Matthew, as the Bruins come out to punt, Grandview's really in control of their own destiny.
That's a great way of putting it. Yeah. When you're at the 50-yard line, when you get your possession at the 50-yard line, and we have yet to see how far Bowden the Lake Page kicks it, but that's probably about where Grandview will take the ball on their next possession. 50-yard line is anybody's ball game. You can make it 50 yards in 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Brought in just beyond the 50. Inside the 45 and tripped up inside the 40.
Well, and you can definitely make it in 2:29 from the 36.
So Burris will get to the 36. Grandview has 2 timeouts, 2 minutes and 29 seconds left.
And I want some out routes, Ben.
Down by 8.
You need some outside run and some outside runs and some out routes. Get this ball to your receivers and your running backs and have them get out of bounds. First downs help a lot too because that moves the chains, and in high school football, moving the chain stops the clock. Then you got to get down there and go for 2 and tie this.
And Grandview's been here before. They were down by 13 in the second half against Pomona in either the first or second week of the season, and they won on the last play of the game as there was pressure, and it's going to be incomplete as Sam Pesnards is in there on the coverage.
That could have gone a lot worse, Ben. An incompletion there, that's okay. You got that eats up 5 seconds of your clock, 1 down. We're playing to win. We're not playing to play perfectly.
So now 2nd and 24, 2nd and 10 coming up from the 36-yard line. As the quarterback going to keep it himself, will get a short gain of 1 or 2. After Cesarca's run, will bring up 3rd and long for Grandview. 3rd and 8 is what we'll call it.
If you're Cherry Creek, you're okay with that. 2 yards is not too bad. 3rd and 8, that's a tricky conversion.
As Cesarca tried to take it himself and wrapped up at the 34-yard line. So 4th down, the 30 about 2.
Then I like a
4th and 6.
I like a pass over the center there, just a little bit better.
4th and 6 as Hank Zelinkus will come on for the Bruins.
I mean, these defenders can drop down from coverage very quickly when they recognize a run. And it is dangerous as a quarterback to run against them.
And Tom Doherty wants to get things completely right on 4th and 6, perhaps the biggest play of this football game, and he's going to take his 2nd time out.
Well, I'll say something to you here, Ben. Why not just call a timeout from the get-go? And the answer is he was waiting to see what Coach Logan was going to line up, who he was going to have out there for personnel, and what defense he was probably going to line up in. Now, here's where the chess game of football happens. Coach Logan, pretty good chance, he knows that. it's not all too complicated a thing to figure out. So, as I said before, these coaches, they know each other really well. I mean, they work together for so long, doing all these kinds of football chess game things. They know each other's play quite well. Looks like Logan is still going to stick with the same personnel.
He's got his top guys out there. We've got Pesnerds and, of course, Tolbert out there. Tolbert doing a lot of the talking. 4th and 6. Huge play coming up in the game. Can Grandview march towards the end zone? As they're going to go in the air. Over the middle, and it's going to fall incomplete after a hit from the secondary. And the Bruins are going to get the ball back on a turnover on downs. And Matthew, it was the ball over the middle as you said it.
Just couldn't hold on. That's, of course, the risk of throwing the ball into the middle.
So 30 seconds to go as the Grandview
90.
students start, 90 rather, a minute and 30, as the Grandview students begin clearing the stands. Grandview with a timeout, and we take a look at what they've got coming up next following this contest.
Well, following the last 90 seconds, of course, they've got Eagle Crest, Cherokee Trail, Arapahoe. Not a schedule all too different from Cherry Creek. Cherry Creek's going to be playing Eagle Crest and Arapahoe these next couple weeks. It'll be interesting to compare their performances against those two teams.
But if you take a look, if things stay the way they are, they go to 5-2. Their losses are at number 4 right now. Number 3, Ralston Valley, and Cherry Creek's at number 2 right here. As the Bruins are going to stay on the ground and get up towards the 40 for an 8-yard gain. And Grandview will use their 3rd and final timeout of the game. And a first down should just about do it for Cherry Creek.
Well, is a first down even necessary? Oh, the play clock's 25 seconds. So, yes.
40.
Is it?
Yeah. So it'll be 25 coming out of the timeout, but following, when play restarts, it'll be 40.
So it'll be, yeah, they should be good, right? 25 and then.
I'm so bad at this.
Yeah, me too, Ben.
First down would certainly do it.
That is a fact.
All right, 2nd and 2 after Grandview uses their 3rd and final timeout. With Hammond under center. The handoff, the first down, and that will just about do it. Here at the Stutler Bowl, the Bruins will kneel it down twice and will move on to 6 and 1 as the celebration begins on homecoming evening in Greenwood Village.
This is the closest Cherry Creek has been against a Colorado team. And we played Regis when they were ranked 4. Beat them by 30.
Pretty close to that. So we'll wait.
Grandview really holding their own here.
So we're awaiting Tom Doherty's midfield handshake with Coach Logan, 2 good friends that go way back. Won 3 state championships together while at Cherry Creek. And one more time will do it for the Bruins.
And let's not sell these coaches short or anything, not that we ever have, but I believe they also have a state championship together over at Mullen.
Correct.
What a duo. What a dynamic duo. And the amount of respect that these two coaches and these players have for each other. Really the amount of respect that, honestly, many of these teachers in this school have for Dean Doherty. A lot of conversations this week. Oh, Doherty's back, Doherty's back. Man, I love working with Mr. Doherty. He was our dean. You know,
Terrific.
good guy.
Football coach and just such a good guy who's going to leave a lasting impact on players, student staff at Cherry Creek for years and years to come. Cherry Creek gets the win on homecoming night by a final score of 21-13 over the Grandview Wolves. They move to 2-0 in Centennial League play, along with 6-1
And
for the season, as we're awaiting Reagan Knoeb's post-game interview.
I've heard she's trying to go and get Blake Purchase. Now, while she does that, here's an update for you, Ben. Smoky Hill, Eagle Crest game. Two teams we're going to be playing. Two teams that are going to be broadcasted against, or two teams where Cherry Creek's matchup is something we're going to broadcast over fall break, and then the week after that. The score there currently 35-21. Smoky ahead of Eagle Crest.
Wow.
I'll say it, Ben. Eagle Crest has not been doing as well this year as I think many of us had anticipated. And Smoky has really stepped up. I mean, we saw them move up into the Centennial League out of the, the Metro East?
Yeah.
And really show their own.
All right. We've got Reagan Knoebe, Blake Purchase in just a moment, as they make their way towards the near sideline so that we can give you the best.
And let me say, Reagan is pretty tall. So
Much taller than I am, I'll tell you that.
And Blake being so much taller next to her is just a testament to his size. Of course, a lot of gratitude goes out to him for doing the post-game interview.
All right, Reagan Knoebe, Blake Purchase. Reagan, we send it down to you.
Hey guys, I'm here with Blake Purchase. Grandview had it 4th down and 6 with 1:34 left to go in the game. That could have arguably turned into one of the most pivotal plays in the game. What's going through your head when the offense is setting up for something like that?
Definitely just make a play. Rush the passer for us, because that's a big passing down for us, and everybody showed up on that play. We got our linebackers that haven't been playing that much, so we got everybody showing up. Marcy Russell had a big play on that. Tyler Silver had a big play. Everybody that last drive just played amazing.
And you had a great block in the first half. Obviously, you're seeing things out there with their offense. What are you looking for?
I know for our defense, one of our weaknesses is probably the flats. So on that last 3rd down play, I knew they were going to try to hit us on that, so I just got my hands up and got a good deflection.
Well, you guys had a great game. The defense obviously came out to play tonight. What was it like playing against Coach Doherty?
It was kind of weird seeing him on the other side, but it was definitely a good matchup. He knows our defense, he knows our offense. We know their defense and their offense, so it was just a good, hard-fought battle, and I'm glad we came out with the win.
Well, I'm also glad we came out with the win. It was a great game tonight, and we're looking forward to next week. Thanks so much, Blake.
Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Reagan. Once again, your final score from the Stutler Bowl on homecoming, Cherry Creek 21, Grandview 13. For Matthew Anderson, Jonathan Varghese, and our whole CCSN crew, I'm Benjamin Paris saying good night from the Stutler Bowl. Have a good weekend.
I feel it in my bones, the way I hit the I'm on